Okay, so here's the deal. Imagine someone kidnaps your mom, and the only clues they leave behind are two ransom notes that sound like they were written by someone who's both desperate and kind of lazy. Welcome to the bizarre case of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie, who vanished 6 months ago in Tucson. The cops just released the full ransom notes, and honestly, they're a wild ride. Let me break this down. First off, the timeline. Nancy goes missing, and within days, someone emails two separate notes to a local news station. The first one? Classic ransom stuff. Pay $4 million in Bitcoin by Thursday, or the price jumps to $6 million by Monday. And if you don't pay, she dies. But here's the thing. Why wait until the last minute to raise the ransom? If you're trying to scare someone into paying, wouldn't you set a single deadline? Personally, I think this reeks of amateur hour. The grammar's sloppy, the threats are vague, and the whole no negotiation line feels like someone watched too many crime movies. Then there's the second note, 4 days later. Suddenly, the kidnapper does a 180. Oops, your mom died of a heart attack. We're sorry. She's buried in nature. Wait, what? If you're a criminal trying to extort money, why admit failure? This doesn't make sense. What if the first note was fake, and the second one's just some sadist trolling the family? Or maybe the kidnapper panicked, realized Nancy was dead, and tried to cover their tracks by pretending it was a heart attack. Either way, the lack of consistency here screams desperation. But here's what fascinates me. The details in the notes. The mention of Nancy's white smartwatch on the bedroom floor and a broken backyard floodlight. Why include that? If you're lying about having her, you'd avoid specifics, right? Unless those details are real. Maybe the house was staged to look like a break-in, and the notes are a smokescreen for something else. What if this wasn't a random kidnapping, but a targeted act? Nancy was 84. Could someone have wanted her out of the way? And if so, why? Let's also talk Bitcoin. Why demand cryptocurrency? It's traceable, especially in huge sums. Unless the kidnapper wanted the money fast, but $4 million in Bitcoin is a lot to move without getting noticed. Maybe they're tech-savvy? Or maybe they're clueless and picked Bitcoin because it's what criminals use. Either way, Savannah Guthrie's a public figure. Targeting her family guarantees media attention. But the notes went to a local news station, not a national outlet. That feels intentional. Maybe the perpetrator wanted to stay under the radar while still applying pressure. Now, 6 months later, the family's stuck in purgatory. No body, no closure, just these two notes that raise more questions than answers. And the public? We're obsessed. Why? Because this case blends celebrity tragedy, a high-stakes mystery, and the unnerving idea that evil can be both sloppy and unpredictable. We want a neat story, heroic family, dastardly villain, but the real world? It's messy. These notes aren't the work of a mastermind. They're the digital age ransom equivalent of a handwritten letter with a cutout magazine font. And maybe that's what makes it haunting. The randomness. The lack of logic. The fact that someone's life, or death, hinges on a pair of notes that read like a first draft. So here's my take. These notes are either from a fraudster trying to exploit grief, or they're the last, botched attempt by someone who never planned this far ahead. Either way, the real story isn't in the words themselves. It's in what they reveal about how we process tragedy, especially when there's no ending. What do you think? Is this a fake ransom scheme gone wrong, or a cover-up for something darker? Drop your theories below. Let's solve this together.